During China's May Day holiday, there was an explosion of travel as people flooded popular tourist spots. The internet quickly became full of videos showing crowded attractions, with many people expressing regret and self-mockery. Some even said, "This isn't a holiday, it's torture." At the national 4A rated tourist spot Qingyuan Huangtang Gorge, staff actually threw drifting boats down from a height, causing tourists to rush and fight for them. One vlogger criticized this, saying they didn't treat the tourists like people. The staff's lack of safety awareness created significant risks. On May 2nd, nearly 3,000 tourists waited in the scorching sun for 5 hours, only to leave without experiencing anything. The park's solution was to take contact information and promise to process ticket refunds within 7 business days. However, the main issue was that tourists were only offered a refund without any explanation. Videos shot by netizens showed tourists waiting in line from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. but still unable to participate in drifting. Many demanded refunds and compensation.
What a torture! I regret coming. I could have stayed home, but now I've wasted my money and energy. What kind of holiday is this? A holiday isn't meant to make you spend your hard-earned money to suffer. Is this really a break?
What kind of holiday is this? A holiday isn't meant for you to rest. It's just for you to spend the hard-earned money you've made. Is this what you call a holiday? State media reports mentioned that many tourist spots had sold out or reached their reservation limits, but they didn't mention the complaints from tourists. Videos showed that at several attractions, overcrowding led to chaos, with tourists shouting for refunds. In Zhengjiajie National Forest Park, thousands of people were stranded because no transportation was available to take them home. Angry tourists were heard chanting for refunds. At the Youlong Gorge in Foshan, Guangdong, there was widespread confusion, with tourists loudly demanding refunds. At the Yuxi Grand Canyon in Henan, tourists waiting to get their tickets refunded complained, "If there aren't enough boats, don't sell so many tickets. We traveled a long way just to end up asking for a refund." Some had been waiting for up to 4 hours. Moreover, a netizen filmed the situation at Wuhan's Yellow Crane Tower and said that during the May Day holiday, a stampede almost occurred.
People with and without tickets were all mixed in the same area. Look, my child almost got squeezed in there. Oh my gosh, is this how Wuhan manages things?
In Chongqing, the subway was overcrowded with a massive crowd of people, making it impossible to move. A netizen described the situation as a total mess. According to China's Ministry of Transport, over 340 million trips were made across regions on May 1st, 290 million on May 2nd, and 280 million on May 3rd, each number exceeding the previous year. The total projected number of trips between regions during the May Day holiday was around 1.42 billion, which raised doubts from the tourism industry. However, these official figures have raised doubts within the tourism industry. One vlogger, who has worked in the hotel industry for 15 years, questioned the official travel data, pointing out how it seemed exaggerated. He joked, "China's total population is only 1.4 billion, so is everyone going out at once? Or are there double counts for round trips?" In this own city, the official data showed a 25% increase, which seemed unrealistic. The Chinese government claims that hotels in many areas were fully booked. For example, during the first 2 days of the May Day holiday, the average occupancy rate of star-rated hotels in Hubei province was 76.90%. On the first day of the holiday, the average occupancy rate of star-rated hotels and some branded hotels in Nanjing reached 91%. Many large hotels were fully booked. Hotel bookings in Yunnan saw a 26% year-on-year increase, among other reports. While official reports claim that many hotels were fully booked, such as a 76.9% average occupancy rate for star-rated hotels in Hubei and 91% in Nanjing, the vlogger argued that he didn't experience the same growth. He asked fellow hotel owners if their business really increased by 5%, 10%, or even 25%, as they were claiming. He himself hadn't felt the so-called explosive growth in tourism.
我不知道你们增长没有，我是没有增长。
I don't know about your growth, but I saw no increase. If I pull an average, my business is worse than last year. On the surface, the 5-day holiday looks good, but in reality, only the first 3 days were profitable. The last 2 days were the same as normal. It was a slow period for business. If you look at the average over 10 days, this holiday didn't even compare to normal days. In tourist cities like Hangzhou, Chengdu, Xi'an, or Luoyang, where they rely on peak season income, prices might be higher during the holiday. But for most cities, the price increase is minimal. Some places saw a rise of 100 yuan, but that's rare. On average, it wasn't much different from regular days. The holiday isn't as meaningful for us hotel workers. One netizen commented, "On the surface, everything seems great, but I've been eating only one meal a day for a while now. Several family members are homesick." Others in the industry also complained that many tourists weren't staying in hotels to save money. They were opting to camp or stay in their cars. On May 3rd, a hotel industry vlogger from Sichuan posted a video saying,
我今天在世界第2大茁壮山
"I am currently traveling to Dahua Mountain in Leshan, Sichuan. The scenery is great, but I noticed something. Many people are staying in tents or their own cars instead of hotels. This is not good news for us in the hotel industry. I suspect that after the May Day holiday, the Statistics Bureau will report another big increase in travel numbers. But for those of us in the hotel business, the reality might not match the data." Another vlogger mentioned that due to poor hotel business this year, even chain hotels have stopped sharing their data.
今年5·1的酒店的抖音
This year, there has been very little activity on Douyin about hotels during the May Day holiday. We don't see hotel chains posting about how they're fully booked or hitting new price highs. We also don't see those so-called influencers saying their rooms are all filled. This means, first, that the overall hotel business during the May Day isn't great, and no one wants to share their data. Second, it's now very easy to verify whether a hotel is actually full. Third, it's harder for hotel owners to lie now. You can't just say you're full without people checking the truth. A vlogger from Chengdu, Sichuan, said that things seem fairly average by the 3rd day of the May Day holiday, which should have been the peak of tourist traffic. The market volume was lower than expected, and some hotels, despite rising prices, had no bookings. Some hotels have already received negative reviews, and this May Day holiday was far worse than expected. This vlogger also mentioned that on the first day of the holiday, data from major platforms showed clear signs of cancellations, and overall occupancy rates were disappointing. After 11 years in the hotel industry, it was the first time he had seen the May Day Golden Week so quiet. Many hotel operators had hoped to make up for losses during these days, but the reality was disappointing. On May 3rd, hotel investor Zhu Xinjiang also posted a video pointing out that in the past couple of days, multiple online travel platforms had released forecasts for the May Day holiday. This year's forecast predicted that travel enthusiasm would continue to rise slightly compared to last year's high levels, but that per capita spending would continue to drop. He analyzed that every year during the May Day and National Day holidays, there are reports of sky-high hotel prices and businesses claiming their hotels are doing well, attracting many investors to enter the hotel market. However, room prices have been dropping every year during these short holidays. Mr. Zhu explained that while long holidays might seem to generate large crowds, with highway traffic jams and tourists stranded at attractions, hotels just take advantage of these periods to sell high-priced rooms. Unfortunately, this doesn't stimulate consumption as planned. Instead, it leads to waste of resources. He believes that the nationwide holiday model, where everyone takes time off at the same time, wastes money and resources, and suggests adjusting the long holiday system by adding spring and autumn holidays. People should be allowed to choose their paid vacation time based on their personal needs and market conditions, ensuring that the tourism industry remains balanced throughout the year and minimizing the impact of these boom and bust cycles. Additionally, some vloggers mentioned that in 2025, the hotel industry in Xiamen, Fujian will face the worst May Day holiday earnings in history.
今年厦门五一的酒店收益直接废了。
The hotel revenue in Xiamen during May Day this year has been a disaster. This morning, I checked the booking status for my own hotel and also observed the situation in the Zhongshan Road Commercial District, which is the core area of Xiamen. The traffic and prices there are not ideal. The vlogger explained that according to standard hotel procedures, if there are only about 10 rooms left in the morning, hotels typically close the rooms for booking, since it's uncertain whether guests will extend their stay. A few rooms are reserved for them. After 2 p.m., if there are still rooms available, they are reopened for sale. However, on May 1st, in Zhongshan Road, few hotels officially closed their rooms, which indicated that they had more than 10 rooms left. This shows that this year's market is indeed worse than previous years. The vlogger further analyzed that last year, a hotel room near the Xiamen train station could go for 300 to 400 yuan during the May Day holiday, but this year, the price was reduced to around 200 yuan. That's a loss of 100 yuan per room, which is quite significant. For a hotel with 100 rooms, that's a loss of 10,000 yuan, an alarming number. Over 3 or 4 days, that could mean a loss of 300,000 yuan in revenue.
我看了一下平台的数据，竟然发现大部分的城市非常低的满房率。
Another vlogger who works in the hotel industry said that on the first day of the May Day holiday, he observed platform data and found that most cities had very low occupancy rates. For example, in Chengdu, normally there are 44,839 hotels available for booking, but on May 1st, none were fully booked. Some hotels had only high-priced rooms left, but even those weren't fully booked. This shows that high-paying or high-consumption tourists were still relatively weak this year. The vlogger also mentioned that more and more young people with disposable income are opting for camping holidays, avoiding crowds and high expenses, which is causing a diversion of business away from traditional accommodation services. This observation was confirmed by other vloggers. On May 3rd, one posted a video saying that when he went out, he saw tents everywhere on the streets.
我看那马路上可多大帐篷的，大帐篷超级多。
Tents are everywhere. At first I wondered why people were setting them up. Then I realized it's because hotel prices at tourist attractions have increased sharply. Rooms that used to cost 100 to 200 yuan are now priced at 700 to 800 yuan. And 300 to 400 yuan rooms have gone up to 1,000 yuan. People who travel often are smart. They bring their own tents and sleep outside to save money. That's why there are so many tents. It wasn't just in the cities. On May 1st, the Wanpingkou scenic area in Rizhao, Shandong, was packed with people, and tourists set up tents on the beach to camp out.
哎呀，老天们啊，你看看吧。
One vlogger posted a video lamenting, "The beach is crowded, but there's no spending. People brought their own tents, pots and pans to save money. It's tough to run a guest house this year. Prices can't go up, and tourists aren't spending much. Look at the beach. It's full of tents, and people are using every trick to survive. They really treat the beach like their home." It's not just a city issue. On May 1st, the Wanpingkou scenic area in Rizhao, Shandong also saw a tent craze. The scene was packed with people, and tourists set up tents on the beach to camp.
哎呀，外帐篷的越来越多，这怎么？
More and more people are setting up tents. How does this contribute to the economy? They buy food locally, sit in their tents, eat and sleep there, leaving all the trash for us to clean up. What can we do? We have no choice but to provide good service. Many netizens shared videos of the trash left behind by tourists after they left.
你见过藏区的这一面吗？
Have you seen this side of Tibet? Do you have the habit of throwing trash while traveling? Look, I've already picked up over 10 bags of trash, and there's still so much left. Let me show you another side of Tibet. On 2nd of May, a video shows Hainan's Mulan Bay, where piles of trash are visible. The vlogger says,
It's all trash and it really stinks. Look around. All I can see is trash and water bottles everywhere. When we go out to travel, can we please pay attention to the environment? This is such huge pollution.
Who wants to pick up trash? Come here. The beach really needs volunteers. It's covered with trash everywhere, even in the distance. Trash. People, bring it here, but won't take it back. I can only describe it as heartbreaking. As an influencer, I want to make a statement. Honestly, after getting out of the car, I couldn't imagine there would be so much trash. With such beautiful scenery, I hope every tourist coming here will stop throwing trash. If you see kids throwing trash, take them away. Since the lifting of the 3-year COVID-0 policy, Chinese tourists have been traveling in large numbers, but their per capita spending has significantly dropped. For example, during the 2023 Dragon Boat Festival, the average domestic travel spend was only 352 yuan, compared to 410 yuan in 2019. According to data from Bloomberg and Goldman Sachs, analyzing the Ministry of Culture and Tourism reports, in the 2024 National Day holiday, mainland tourists' spending per capita was down by about 2% compared to pre-pandemic levels. With China's economy continuing to decline, unemployment rates are high and incomes are dropping. Reports suggest that the trend of vending travel has risen among young people. In China's during the May Day holiday, many have started using the opportunity to set up stalls at tourist spots to earn money for their travels. In reality, Chinese people mostly travel during the long holidays, with few opportunities for vacations during regular periods. A netizen revealed the truth. I'll tell you why. I have family members who work in large state-owned enterprises and central state-owned enterprises. They're not allowed to take annual leave under any circumstances, not even when they're sick, unless they can't get out of bed. This is an important factor for maintaining stability and limits your time and freedom. If you dare to ask for one day off, they'll deduct your entire annual bonus. In this context, the overall decline of China's tourism industry is easier to understand. As the largest tourism enterprise group of China, Jinjiang International listed company, Jinjiang Hotels, has seen its performance continuously decline, reflecting the current weak recovery in China's tourism and hospitality industries. According to the 2024 annual report, Shanghai Jinjiang International Hotel Co., Ltd. had a total revenue of 14 billion yuan, a 4% decrease from the previous year. The net profit attributable to the parent company was 911 million yuan, a drop of 9%. The net profit after excluding non-recurring gains and losses was only 539 million yuan, a significant decrease of 30%. In the fourth quarter of 2024, Jinjiang Hotels reported a non-recurring net loss of 99.3 million yuan, a dramatic year-on-year decline of 253%. As it entered 2025, the company's operating pressure showed no signs of easing. Its first quarter financial report revealed a total revenue of approximately 2.9 billion yuan, an 8.25% year-on-year decrease. The net profit attributable to the parent company was about 36 million yuan, a sharp drop of 81%. The non-recurring net profit attributable to the parent company was about 26.6 million yuan, a 57% decline from the previous year. The financial struggles of Jinjiang Hotels are undoubtedly a microcosm of the impact of China's overall economic downturn on the tourism industry. Against the backdrop of weak consumer demand in China, even once dominant hotel giants are finding it difficult to thrive.